What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about on a daily basis, including money, investing, the stock market, the fourth stimulus package update, and stimulus check update. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below. It's completely free to do so. And remember that new videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m. 3 p.m. and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also, thanks so much for hitting the like button for us down below. We got a lot to talk about here today. We'll be going over several different things, including House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has called for new stimulus checks on the federal level, as well as several major states here are calling for stimulus checks on the state level as well. And there's really a lot of major news here. Uh, a lot. We'll start with this. China is actually drafting in the military because of how bad the pandemic is there. You can literally read it here for yourself. As Shanghai is ordered to test 25 million residents for the virus. And the virus is pretty good right now here in the U.S., but they're struggling with it over there in China and in Europe, in parts of Europe as well. And of course, you never really know what's going on in China. The amount of cases they report is, you never really quite know what they're reporting here. But you can see they're literally drafting in the military and testing tens of millions of people. And don't forget that they also had over 50 million people on lockdown, as you can see here. So, yeah, it's this is because they have the new BA.2 variant, which we have here as well. That's also called the stealth Omicron variant. It's full blown over there. It has just taken over. Now, remember, officials here in the U.S. say it's also now become the dominant variant here in the U.S., but it has not really exploded here in the U.S. like it has in China. And China has, I mean, you can literally read here. This is from Fortune.com, Fortune magazine. Most people know it as. But China's locked down over 50 million people in China. I mean, gosh. I mean, we're here in 2022. Can you imagine if they did that here in the U.S.? And this is what people kind of, some people at least, fear could be the next wave going on here in the U.S. You can let me know your thoughts of, do you think we're going to have another dramatic wave here in the U.S.? You let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I remember when some people said that when the 2020 election came and went, that the virus would magically go away. That was back in 2020. And here we are in 2022, April of 2022, and other countries are in complete lockdown with 50 million people. So, yeah, the whole conspiracy theory thing, I know different people have different beliefs about it, but it's not just a U.S. thing. It's not a Biden versus Trump thing, a Democrat versus Republican thing. The virus is real. It's killed over 6 million people worldwide. We've had multiple different waves and strains of it and mutations of it. It's just like the war in Ukraine. How long is this thing going to go on? And how do we solve it? It does seem like the mutations have gotten less severe. Experts have said that the Delta variant was the most severe, death-wise, and was the most severe, in that regard. But the new mutations have gotten more infectious, where they're just they can spread incredibly easy, and that's why the last Omicron variant, we had cases where we had over 1 million people testing positive per day, which affects people in different ways. People with really bad immune systems, or they're already compromised with they have other diseases, or things like that. They're already at risk. The other problem here is that it puts our economy at risk as well because we have millions of people out per day that can't go to work. And you got to kind of put that into perspective where people are taking 5 to 10 days or more, depending on each person, can't get a paycheck, can't get a paycheck. And remember that in the Build Back Better package was they haven't been able to pass it. A lot of people say Joe Manchin uh, pass it, but remember, Republicans aren't voting for it either. So there's kind of a double-edged sword there. But one of the provisions in there was to have a paid family and medical leave. Okay. So if you're sick with a virus or if you are going to have a baby or anything, it's paid family and medical leave. The government would step in during times like that and would pay your paycheck on a temporary basis. Okay. And during a pandemic, or when in times where you're pregnant and you go to have a baby, if you don't have an employer that pays medical leave, which a lot of employers don't, a lot of employers say, oh, take your sick days, which if you're fortunate to have some or have any left, yeah, that's a different story, but a lot of people don't, and those run out quickly as well, and then you might not have any for the rest of the year. But the problem here is that when you run into, when we had the last variant, millions of people were out each and every day. At one point, we had over 5 million people per day that were quarantining. And that's where we're the only first world country. I'll repeat that. We're the only first world country to not have a paid family and medical leave program paid for by the government. The only country, the only first world country. See a problem here? And that was a provision. That was just one of the provision in the Build Back Better package, and yet we're the only first world country to not have that. It's just one of the things that we're really behind on as a nation. But they are passing some kind of new stuff. In fact, look what just happened here today. This is actually some good news here, a little bit of good news. You could see here, as of today, people on Medicare can now get up to 8 free virus tests per month. Okay. This is not from the government website. But I'll show you how this works here. This just became available here today. People on Medicare are now able to get up to 8 free virus tests per month at participating pharmacies. The Biden administration announced here today on Monday. The move comes after a similar initiative launched in January for people with private insurances. Remember this? Okay, where if you bought them, you could get reimbursed, but it was kind of a process. In response to the surge in demand for testing due to the surge in cases from the Omicron variant over the winter. But people on Medicare were initially left out, if you kind of remember this, but it's now made available, leading to a push to figure out a way for tests to be free for them as well, especially given that seniors are among the group most vulnerable to the virus. The new program goes into effect today. People on Medicare, including Medicare Advantage plans, will simply have to show their Medicare card at a participating pharmacy, and they can get the tests for free, with the pharmacy billing Medicare directly. Participating pharmacies include CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Rite Aid, and major grocery chains. Okay, the full list is available here. But if you see these, you can go to thehill.com if you want to see that full list and go to this article. Those are the full CVS, Walgreens, Walmart, Rite Aid. And also, if you're talking to a clerk there or an employee there, note that this just went into effect today. So you might want to talk to a manager. They might not really know what's going on at first because it just went into effect today. But you can see it right here on the screen. It did go into effect today. So they might not quite know what's going on I tend to know what's going on faster than most people. But the system for people on Medicare has fewer hurdles than people with private insurance face. Those with private insurance often have to pay upfront for their tests and then seek reimbursement from the insurer, a cumbersome process. The program is also a departure from Medicare, which does not usually cover over the counter tests. For the first time in history, Medicare is paying for an over the counter test. This is because this is critical for our pandemic response. Combined with the free over the counter tests available through covidtest.gov, that's the government website, where anybody can get now 2 sets of orders. It looks like, yeah, Americans can get 2 sets of 4 tests available through covidtest.gov. The article doesn't fully explain how it's going to work for seniors, but it appears that you'll just be able to walk in and get them, and they're just going to bill Medicare. So where private insurance has to, like I said, you have to buy them and then get reimbursed. So if you're on Medicare, let me know in the comments once you go to a store. Let our viewers know in the comments as well if they're just going to give them to you. Looks like that's how it's going to work. So and once somebody goes through this process, have your Medicare Advantage or Medicare Part B cards or documents or anything with you. Once this works, please comment down below in the comment section. And when you see anybody that does that comments that, and it works, and of course, you're going to have to have an employee or a manager that knows what they're doing. Because remember, this is a brand new thing going through here. Please, hit the like button on their comments so it rises to the top. Okay, so so everybody else can see here. Brand new thing going on here. Remember, these tests can be as much as $30 a piece. $30 a piece, and you never know when you're going to need them. And remember, they have expiration dates on them. So having them free is way better. And remember that friends and family might need them and stuff like that too. So this is a really big deal. A really big deal. You can also get them from the website too, but you're limited to only having 2 sets of orders from them as well. And remember, that's covidtests.gov. Okay. So some really big news there. And free is way better than paying for them. Apparently my wife is playing with some cat toys over there. My wife and Snowy are playing with some cat toys. Also, Senator Bernie Sanders and Representative Cori Bush said that they have announced a Medicare for All Senate hearing that is going to be coming in May. This is a really big thing because Medicare for All is a really big push that they want to be able to offer Medicare for All, where at least they have the option to pay for Medicare if people want to be on it. Medicare for All would be anybody could get on Medicare. It wouldn't be age restricted or anything like that. So Bernie Sanders, this is something he's been pushing for a while. He says, quote, healthcare is a human right. Healthcare is a human right. Along with House Representative Cori Bush, who co-chaired this week's House event on the topic, thanked the Senate Budget Committee for momentum in Congress to pass related legislation. And that will be coming soon. A lot of people want to lower the Medicare eligibility age or to have Medicare for All as an option. It doesn't mean you have to do it. It means it's an option to be able to get on Medicare for the Medicare program. So this is something that they are pushing for in Congress to either lower the Medicare eligibility age or to have Medicare for All. So I will keep you up to date on this movement as well. Another really big movement right now is stimulus checks for all and stimulus checks on the state level. Here's what Nancy Pelosi just recently said here within the last 2 or 3 days or so here. Check this out.
How do we help people directly? If you're going to have to pay for it, and you don't want it to come out of the trust fund, something could be a rebate card or a direct payment, and those are the things that are being considered.
Yeah, so Nancy Pelosi pushing for stimulus checks or direct payments on the national level, the federal level, the regular old stimulus check level for the country, for everybody. As you can see here, as you just heard her say, that's a condensed clip that, she had a whole long interview and was asked about it. Just kind of condensed it down to the part where she mentions that. Nancy Pelosi says payments are being considered to fight gas costs and to fight inflation. And remember that it's an election year. So um, Nancy Pelosi does really not want to lose to the Republicans. Republicans want to take over. Democrats don't want to lose. At the heart of it all, does that matter? Probably. Probably. And there's already a lot of proposals here from the Democratic side for stimulus checks. One of the big ones that just came out here within the last few days, Democratic representative from the House of Representatives, Josh Harder from California, announced here just a few days ago a $500 stimulus check and a $1,000 stimulus check for married couples or for two people. Federal gas relief check program proposal called the Putting Gas Money Back in Your Pocket Act. So yeah, $500 stimulus checks, $1,000 stimulus checks for married couples. And this was just announced here within the last few days. This would be on the federal level, so this would be stimulus checks for everybody. The other one that Democrats are pushing for is a potential monthly stimulus checks, which could go past the elections or for 12 months, which really would add up to be probably a lot more money. You could see right here Democrats push for $300 a month stimulus checks to help Americans pay for sky high gas prices as gas soars past $6 a gallon in Los Angeles. And 73% of voters say they back tax breaks. And we have been seeing tax breaks in a lot of different states as well. If you've been following my channel, I've been trying to cover as many states as possible. As almost every couple days, there's a new state coming out with or even passing state stimulus checks, state stimulus packages, tax breaks, lowering taxes, all sorts of different stimulus type measures and in all different type of capacities, pausing state gas taxes, stimulus checks. One of the newest ones that has just come out here is New York. New York State Senator has just proposed a $250 gas check, which is really just a check. They call it a gas check, but you don't have to spend it on gas. You could spend it on food. You could spend it on rent. You could spend it on diapers. You could spend it on anything you want. But a New York State Senator has just proposed a $250 check, stimulus check, whatever you want to call it, for New York residents, and would be $500 for married couple because there's two of you, or divorced couples, or whatever you want to call it. This is, and California has a $400 check proposal. California is going to probably get one for sure because the governor has said that there's some type of check coming, and that would be $800 for couples. And New York has the latest state to now say, yeah, we want to do something here as well. We want to do something here as well. A lot of states are stepping up here and saying, yeah, we are now proposing to do something here as well. And then the state legislature has to then approve it. So then it goes to the state Senate and the state House, and then they have to vote on it. Then they have to vote on it. And that's where it comes down to the state senators and the state House of Representatives, where it goes to the state Democrats and Republicans, and whether your state is controlled by Democrats or Republicans, and whether or not they can come to a compromise, or if it's controlled by Democrats or Republicans, and then the governor, et cetera, or whether they want to do tax cuts or rebates, which are checks, and stuff like that. But yeah, in New York, state residents could be getting a $250 check to help pay for increasing pump prices at the gas pump. Senator Elijah Melnick, a Democrat, is proposing to give all current state residents who have registered a vehicle in New York State in the past 2 years a $250 check to the State Energy Research and Development Authority. Quote, with gas prices hitting record highs almost every week, it's crucial that New York State takes whatever action we can to help people who are getting squeezed at the pump. While the state can't control international factors that are contributing to rising oil prices, there are steps we can take to provide some relief, like sending out checks to the people. That literally helps with relief. So yeah, let me know your thoughts here, and an extra $500 from your states. If you're a mother and a father, or a grandma and a grandpa from New York, as well as checks coming from the federal government, hopefully, possible monthly checks. All this can add up. All this can add up. And remember that a lot of states are reducing taxes here as well. I keep you up to date here on that as well. I believe New York has done some of that as well, as I've covered here in previous videos. So there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of states doing reducing taxes for property owners and or renters as well, which kind of covers almost everybody. You're either a property tax, you're a property owner, or you're a renter, unless you're staying at somebody's house or something like that. Then maybe you're not one or the other. But yeah, there's really a lot of different type of things going on here. So I will keep you up to date here with everything that you need to know about on a daily basis. So make sure to subscribe down below to our YouTube channel. If you haven't yet, just click the subscribe button. It's completely free to do so. And then click the bell icon after subscribing. Remember that new videos come out here every day on our YouTube channel at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can click here to watch our newest video next, or you can click this video here to see our new video about student loan forgiveness, child tax credits, and a really big update I just did. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.